like the headline from the Reuters news agency. Republicans in chaos as favorite quits House leadership race. Who was it that said never get in the way of never get in the way when your enemy is setting himself on fire? Yeah, for sure. It happened today. There was a meeting, and I'll get to that meeting here in a moment. There was a meeting this morning. Some of the House leadership took old McCarthy, Kevin McCarthy, into the woodshed. And when he came out, surprise, surprise, I don't think I'm going to do it. Instead of getting what he thought he was going to get, a mandate to lead the Republican Party in the House, McCarthy stood up there and said, for us to unite, we probably need a fresh face. Is there a fresher face than yours, dude? Nah, there's more to it than this, Kevin. Yes, indeedy. Now, Boehner, who had planned to retire on October 30th, said he would stay on the job as Speaker until a replacement is selected. Now, it's unclear who's going to be that fresh face that McCarthy spoke about. I just find the whole thing incredibly amusing. To see the Republicans just so incapable of even governing themselves. They have proved over the last 7 years they cannot govern the United States. They cannot work with the Democratic Party. They cannot work with any president except a fascist moron like they are. If anybody has any doubts about what these clowns are about, you better wake up and smell the brimstone, because they are incapable of governing. Now, why did McCarthy quit? Well, let's go back in the Wayback Machine to 1998. Newt Gingrich had insurrection against his leadership in the House, and he stepped down, and part of the insurrection had to do with the fact that he was having an affair with an intern, a la Bill Clinton. Yeah, Newty was having an affair. Most of it occurred in the parking lot of the House of Representatives building. There were many reports of people walking by. Oh, what's that? Oh, my God, look what he's doing. Yeah, right out in the parking lot. Well, anyway, he married her. He did, what's the saying? Republicans like, he made an honest woman of her. Yeah, right. So when he resigned, the Republicans, the best they could come up with was a Louisiana representative named Robert Livingston. So Livingston, if I remember, he was the Speaker of the House for about 2-3 days, and then his affair came out. So he immediately resigned. And he was succeeded in the House, not as Speaker, but he was succeeded when he gave up his representative seat. That was taken over by one David Vitter, a Republican from Louisiana. And Vitter became the first senator. When the next Senate race rolled around, Vitter got elected senator, first senator, Republican senator elected from the state of Louisiana. And it wasn't too long after that, if you remember, David Vitter stood up there and he admitted he got his privates caught in a prostitution ring, remember? And his poor PTSD'd wife standing next to him. Bah! Which brings us to Kevin McCarthy. Something very interesting happened today off stage. I don't know if anybody else is going to be talking about this, but check this out. And this is from Mediaite. The Wikipedia page of North Carolina Republican Congresswoman Renee Elmers was edited by an IP address within the government. Turns out it came from I think the Department of Homeland Security. Her page was edited to include the accusation that she's having an affair with, that's right, Kevin McCarthy. The edited article read this: Elmers is alleged to have been involved in an extramarital affair with Republican House Majority Leader candidate Kevin McCarthy since 2011. The sources listed for this allegation were a Breitbart article and a blog post. Now, of course, the Breitbart page didn't allege anything, did they? No, this is some trickster. This must be some dirty, filthy Democrat. But let me tell you something, Truth Seekers. You know as well as I do, when these good, Christian, conservative teabaggers get caught with their scrotum in a wad, woo! All of a sudden, they resign. They resign for the good of the party, because they want to spend more time with their family, because of personal stuff. Now, the fact is, Kevin McCarthy was not the Speaker of the House. He hasn't resigned his position in the House. He has dropped out of, kaboom, the race to be the Speaker. Now, all of this is not to, God forbid, that moi, would suggest that Kevin McCarthy and North Carolina Republican Congresswoman Renee Elmers are doing the nasty. And if they are, it's none of my business. But can you imagine what they said to McCarthy when they took him into the into the inner office? Kevin, have you been stooping, Renee? Kevin, we want you to go out and withdraw from the race for the speakership. Well, Kevin? Okay. Okay. Now, according to published reports, Republicans were stunned by the announcement. What? Oh no, our boy is dropping out? Well, why? Why? Well, let's see how far this goes. Now, I'm not one to talk about scandal crap like this. In my heart of hearts, I couldn't care less, except for one thing: the massive hypocrisy of these evildoers. Every single Republican office holder is a duplicitous, lying, cheating son of a bitch. Every single one of them. Not to mention the fact that they're also sociopaths. So, goodbye, Kevin McCarthy. We hardly knew ye, lad. Kevin McCarthy, the good Baptist.